Alright, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to be doing part 2 to my mock draft series, and we're going to be going through picks 16 to 31. So originally I actually wasn't going to go through, picks 16 to 31, just because there is so much inconsistency with mock drafts after basically the top 10. So basically anywhere between 15 and 31, you just have no clue, who's going to be drafted where. But I did have comments in my last video, requesting me to go through these picks. So I thought, what the heck, why not? So just like my other video, I'm going to be putting another disclaimer on here. Mock drafts are just to be fun. Do not take them too seriously. Do not get too angry when I think your team should select someone else, when you believe they should select the other person. So with that being said, if you think any of the players I list should be selected elsewhere, let me know down below. Alright, so let's just get straight into this video. So if you guys actually look on the new draft board, I actually put a tail of the tape side on the upper left hand side, and what I'm going to do there is I'm going to be posting the player, whichever player I'm talking about at the moment. I'm going to be posting, their height, weight, and headness. This is going to add a lot of editing, but I did have some people requesting it, so there you go. And then right in the middle of the board, where the draft logo is right here, I'm going to be putting their current stats from the previous season that they played. So there may be a lot of shocking picks in here, but let's just get straight into it. So number 16, we have the Colorado Avalanche, and I have them selecting Bobby Brink. So Bobby Brink is a really interesting pick. He has a super big motor. He's a pure sniper who currently plays in the USHL. He has a very deadly shot, very good hands, works very hard, and has a really good defensive play. His skating is only average, so that's something he needs to work, but he has a very high offensive upside. He's a player that's compared to like a TJ Oshie. So with Colorado lacking, severely lacking, forward depth, adding a Bobby Brinks is going to be great. He's going to be going through the NCAA system. He's still a couple years away, but if he projects to be, a second-ish line player, that could definitely help the Colorado Avalanche depth for the future. Alright, at number 17, we have the Vegas Golden Knights, and I have them selecting Ville Heinola. So Ville Heinola, it can be the piece that replaces the Eric Branson that they just shipped out to Ottawa. So Ville Heinola is currently playing in Liga where he's having really good point production. He has a really good transition play, and he's a very smart player with a strong playmaking ability. He has very good puck control and a good defensive game. He is on the smaller side though, so he doesn't have a high physical game, but he's a smart defenseman. And a lot of players are comparing him to like a Heiskanen. However, Heiskanen of course has tremendous skating ability, whereas Heinola does have decent mobility. He's above average, but he's not a great skater. Alright, and at number 18 we have the Dallas Stars, and I have them selecting Pavel Dorofeyev. So sorry if I say that wrong. But anyways, I'm just going to say Pavel. So Pavel has a decent skating ability. Again, he does need some more work. He's a very smart and creative winger that has a very good vision. He has a very excellent, playmaking ability, and he is super strong defensively. One gripe to his game is he does need to get stronger. He does need to fill out, and he does need to build some more muscle, and he needs to work on his skating. But other than that, he has some really good pieces to make him a very excellent two-way playmaker. And his player comparison is like a Philip Forsberg. And guys, keep in mind, player comparisons, please take them with a grain of salt. They're only a comparison in terms of play style, and by no means are they a comparison of skill-wise and actual ceiling. Alright, and at number 19 we have the Ottawa Senators. So this is Ottawa's only first round draft pick at the moment. I do believe that they should try to trade up in the draft. They do really need to start replenishing their systems and start building their depth and start building their their blue chip prospect pool. And with that being said, I believe they should choose Ryan Suzuki. So Nick Suzuki's brother, who currently plays in Montreal. I guess we'll see if Montreal takes, the risk on a Ryan Suzuki. But I believe Ottawa should choose Ryan Suzuki. So Ottawa is really lacking center depth. A position where, Jack Hughes would have really helped. So with them shipping out in the recent years Kyle Turris and Matt Duchene, drafting another centerman should be on the top of their priority list. So Ryan Suzuki has a very excellent skating ability. Very good edges, very good acceleration and speed. He has very good hockey IQ and excellent playmaking ability and a good shot. However, his defense is lackluster, and it is an area he needs to improve on, but his offensive upside is there. And if he continues to work on his defensive play, he could definitely be a good top 6 player. And his player comparison is kind of like a Nicholas Backstrom, a really good playmaking centerman. Alright, at number 20 we have the New York Rangers, and I have them selecting Philip Tomasino. So the New York Rangers drafting Kakko, and this pick would change if they do end up drafting Hughes. But based on the fact that I said they're going to draft Kakko, I believe they should draft a center. So Philip Tomasino is a very complete player. He has good skating, he has a good shot, good playmaking ability, good puck control, good hands, and really good defensive play. He's kind of that all-around, player, but he's not fantastic in any single individual area. So he's more projected to be that second line two-way forward rather than that first line guy, and his player comparable is Austin Matthews. Keep that with a grain of salt, guys. So yeah, Phil Tomasino, very good two-way centerman who was slotted nicely in New York Rangers, shallow center pool. At number 21, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I have them choosing Cam York. So this is another example, guys. After 15, we can really see the draft board going anywhere. Keep that in mind, because honestly, I could see Cam York going in like the top 12, but for the sake of this video and the fact that it's based on positional needs, I have him going 21 to Pittsburgh Penguins. If this mock draft was based on, skill, Cam York would not be at 21, but because of the fact it's based on positional needs, that's why he's there. And so for Cam York and Penguins needing to replenish their defensive systems, Cam York is an excellent place to start. He's a very excellent skater, really great transition game with a really good playmaking ability. He has really good hockey IQ, really good vision, and he really reminds me of Quinn Hughes. He doesn't necessarily have the same upside as Quinn Hughes, but he's definitely the same type of player. Really good skating ability. He needs to take more risks, make those pinching plays, but because of his excellent skating ability, he's able to keep up the play and is looking like the ideal power play quarterback for the Penguins of the future. So number 22, we have the LA Kings, and I have them selecting Niels Hoglander. So Hoglander has been playing in the SHL where he had a really good season. He's a very excellent skater. Very good edges, very good top end acceleration, very good agility. He's a really good playmaker with a decent shot. Hoglander also plays with grit. He's a bit undersized, but he's not afraid to get in those dirty areas and, get in the corners and play with some grit. And because of that tenacity, he plays well in the defensive zone, but he does need to gain more strength. And a player comparable for Niels Hoglander is Brad Marchand. And keep in mind, guys, this is no means an exact player comparison. Just keep it with a grain of salt. An undersized player with a really good skating ability, good playmaking, who plays with grit. That screams Marchand. I'm not saying he's dirty, but that does scream Marchand. At number 23, we have the New York Islanders, and I have them selecting Moritz Seider. So Moritz Seider is, he's a really interesting, intriguing prospect who we just saw at the World Championships, and in fact, he actually scored 2 goals, against men, which is just great. Coming in at 6'4", he has very good skating, for his size. He has a really good transition game who can move the puck well. He has a good point shot and good puck control. He's not afraid to lay the body and be physical. However, he does need to work on his positional play. That's the one area he's lacking. But if he does improve on that, he's looking like he can be a really solid top 4 defenseman. And his player comparable is like a Seth Jones or an Aaron Ekblad. Alright, at number 24, we have the Nashville Predators, and I have them selecting Raphael Lavoie. So Raphael Lavoie, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, is a 6'4" winger center. He's a pretty good skater for his size, a powerful goal-scoring winger/center. He has a very good shot, soft hands, and a good playmaking ability. However, he does lack defensively. But he did make huge improvements this year and is, really rounding out his game. And he's projected to be like a Rick Nash. So a power forward goal-scoring winger who can also play the middle. So number 25, we have the Washington Capitals, and I have them selecting Ilya Nikolaev. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong again, so I'll pronounce his first name. So Ilya has a very good skating. However, his offensive play is a little bit suspect. At times, he looked like, a top 10 prospect, and at other times, he looked, very suspect. But the thing is, Ilya has a very fantastic defensive play. He has really good positioning, and he's a really great penalty killer. He's projected to be like that third line guy who does have some offensive upside, but is more of that defensive liable guy. And an excellent player comparable is like a Mikhail Backlund. He does have some offensive upside, but he's more relied on for his, defensive responsibilities. So number 26, we have the Calgary Flames, and I have the perfect pick for you, which is Spencer Knight. So Spencer Knight is a goaltender. He's a top goaltender in this draft. He may very well go to like Florida way sooner in the draft, but for this draft's sake, Calgary is very much lacking that goaltender of the future. Spencer Knight is looking like he has all the pieces to be that starting goaltender. Great positioning and very strong rebound control, great composure and maturity, which is, strong indicators of, a goalie that's going to keep progressing. And his player comparable is like a Carey Price, grain of salt, guys. But if all things go well and he keeps developing, the way he is, he can be Calgary's goaltender of the future. And if we all know Calgary, they are definitely lacking that. At number 27, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I have them choosing defenseman Matthew Robertson. So Matthew Robertson has excellent mobility for his size. He has a very good transition game and a good playmaking ability. He also has a good shot, and he's a very intelligent defenseman that can read the play very well. And because of that, he has a really good positional game and good gap control. He's projected to be a top 4 defenseman at the most, but he is a really good complete defenseman. And a lot of people are comparing him to like a Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Alright, number 28, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, and I have them choosing Brett Leason. So Brett Leason, he's not a fantastic skater. There's definitely, room for improvement in terms of skating, but he has really good vision, a really good playmaking ability. He plays with a lot of grit and has a really good defensive game. He has really good soft hands and is looking like, an excellent, two-way forward, grittier, left wing scoring forward. A good comparable is Matthew Tkachuk. So Matthew Tkachuk, he was criticized for his skating ability, and that is the same for Brett Leason. But the offensive upside is there, and a lot of people like the grit he brings to the game. He has good sandpaper, and he has a really good defensive game. So at 28, we have Brett Leason. At 29, we have the Anaheim Ducks, and I have them selecting Thomas Harley. So the Ducks shipping out, a bunch of the defensive core last season. They're definitely in need for replenishing their defensive system, and Thomas Harley is a really great place to start. He has really good size and skating ability, a good transition game, a good shot and playmaking ability. He has really good gap control and positioning, and overall he looks like a very solid two-way defenseman. However, he does have more offensive upside than some of the previous defensemen I just listed, and he's more comparable to like a Thomas Chabot. However, he's also projected to be, a top 4 defenseman at the most, but definitely a very solid pick at number 29. At number 30, we have the Buffalo Sabres, and I have them selecting Jacob Pelletier. So Jacob Pelletier is a very undersized but a fantastic skater. He has a very good playmaking ability with a very good shot. He has great hockey IQ, but his defensive game is suspect. And for the Sabres who are lacking, forward winger depth, Jacob Pelletier, it might just be a very good, place to start. And he kind of reminds me of like a Brian Giunta. Alright, in the last pick of the first round in the 2019 draft, we have the Boston Bruins, and I have them choosing Marshall Warren. So Marshall Warren is a really great, puck-moving defenseman with a really good playmaking ability. He does need to work on his shooting, but he has a really good transition game, great gap control, and willing to throw hits. His player comparable is like a Duncan Keith. He's more offensive-minded, but is more of that playmaking defenseman who doesn't take many point shots. But anyways, guys, that is it for my second half of the 2019 draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate the support so much. I mean, so much. But anyways, guys, that's it for the 2019 draft. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I've been having such a blast making these videos, and I appreciate all the support I'm getting so much. It means so much. I've been wanting to, obviously I mentioned this in my videos before, but I've been wanting to make a hockey channel for the longest time. And obviously, just about a month ago, I started it up, and I've just been having a blast. So thank you guys so much for all the support. It means so much to me, and see you guys later.